Hi YouTube, welcome back to Tamara's Tarot Oracle channel. I feel like it's been a little while since I've uploaded a video. I just haven't really had much of a chance as of late. I was very interested to participate in Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot. And although I'm a little bit late, I have finally jumped on the bandwagon and joined everyone who is doing it on day 4, which is the top 5 tarot books, I believe. And I've wanted to participate from the beginning. I just feel like because, not that tarot is super new to me, it's just I feel like because I've only really started working with it in the last year, I kind of am a bit choosy with which decks I would have picked, and I am still waiting on a couple that have yet to arrive. And I have replaced one particular deck that I decided to edge, and I totally made a mess of, and I knew that would happen, and I was upset, but luckily I was able to get my hands on another copy. So I wanted to just be a little bit more sure, like feel more confident with the decks that I've been using, and have it be a little bit more than just first impressions, we'll say. And I've been happily watching so many different channels, Kelly's Truth and Story, Kellyanne Maddox, Katie Flowers, just to name a few, and thoroughly enjoying watching their videos and helping me along on my tarot journey. And anyway, I feel like I'm rambling now. So I'll quickly show you the 5 books that I have selected. Now, as not a huge academic with those massive encyclopedic type textbooks, I prefer literature that is just more concise and done in a more poetic fashion and sort of gets more to the point, but still gives depth and detail in that. So, you know, you do get a little bit more insight into what you're reading and, sorry, my nose is itchy, and all that kind of thing. And I believe 4 of the 5 books that I have selected happen to be books that have accompanied tarot decks. And it just so happens to be the writing is phenomenal, and I just think it beautifully captures what the author was conveying, and it really did teach me and open my mind to vast possibilities. And what I love about collecting different tarot decks, and I'm sure you've heard this all over YouTube, are the many different facets and perspectives that there are on the tarot and each card and their divinatory meaning. And I just love that. I love all the various perspectives, and it really does add a lot of layers and help you see the same card in so many different ways, based on the depiction of the artwork, you know, the wording in the book of its meanings and comprehension and all that kind of thing. And I just love that. I will start with, okay, this is A Magical Course in Tarot by Michele Morgan, author of Simple Wicca, reading the cards in a whole new way. Now, I had seen this book advertised possibly on certain channels. It was a while ago. I can't remember where exactly I had first seen it. And it piqued my interest. And I did a little bit of research, and it seemed to really appeal to me. So I ordered it. And I have to say that I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, I made a video of this book alongside the Dame Darcy revised 3rd edition. And basically, this book can be used with just about any and every tarot deck. Now, certainly within the Rider-Waite system. I haven't tried it with the Marseille style system, and I've never delved into the Thoth. Not that I never will. It's not really where I'm at right now in my tarot journey. So and I say that because the illustrations in this book are very vague, and so they can be construed in any fashion, and they can go seamlessly with any deck, which is wonderful because so many books, you know, have specific images for specific decks like the Rider-Waite, and you kind of feel like you have to use the Rider-Waite in order to gain access to that particular piece of work. And although the Rider-Waite is probably the most popular tarot deck in the world, it's just never super appealed to me. So I like things that are more open-ended, that you can kind of just give you more leeway and more creativity and such. Now, I think it's super important to start with a Rider-Waite deck or a Rider-Waite clone because of the symbolism, the imagery, and that. And I think it's really important to understand roots of tarot and a little bit of history and that kind of thing. Certainly, yes. But as a working deck, although I have owned a couple Rider-Waite decks, it's just not my cup of tea. But with that said, it certainly is a great base, a great foundation for building and taking it from there. So getting back to this book, I'll just quickly show you the illustrations are very basic. And sorry if my camera is a bit fuzzy. And again, they're just snippets of the piece of writing that's written below that just kind of gives you a little bit of a intrigue, or, you know, gets that intuition going. And the writing is so beautiful. It's so poetic. I just love it. I love it so much. I'll read quickly. My favorite card in a tarot deck is the Strength card. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's the number 8. I've always loved the number 8 is my favorite number. It's Lamnisket, right? This affinity symbol. In that in itself, I don't know. It's just always really appealed to me. I love the lion. I don't like the interpretation of the human trying to silence the lion. I don't like that. I like it when the human and the lion, or the maiden and the lion, are working harmoniously, and they just happen to be as one. And I really like that. But I just wanted to quickly read you what just to give you a bit of an example of the writing in this book. So, Strength is a card of power and self-discipline. This is the story of the beautiful maiden who tames the wild beast, not with force or cruelty, but with love, which I really like. That's important to me. By recognizing the good inherent in all things, she calms the raging animal with gentle acceptance and turns it from an adversary into an ally. Just as this myth symbolizes mastery over fear, so this card symbolizes understanding and conquering your own inner beasts, which include negative, self-defeating, or addictive thoughts or behaviors. Spiritual insight and courage are your weapons. Faith and love your shield. The outcome, integrity of body, mind, and soul. And I just love the writing. I just think it's so beautiful, and it really does embody what that card means. So that is just a quick glimpse into a magical course in tarot. I highly recommend this book, especially for beginners. It's a very modernized breath of fresh air. That's how I would describe this book. And it's a very quick and easy read. And it certainly did add enjoyment to the process, which is very important for me. The next book, and these are in no particular order, the Steampunk Tarot, accompaniment. This is illustrated by Ali Fell, incredible fantasy artist, but the book is written by Barbara Moore, and she is fantastic. I have a couple of her books somewhere. I also couldn't find all my books, but in all fairness, this is one that I would have selected. I love the writing, and I love how there are reading tips at the end of each card meaning. And for example, this one says, if you were looking for a yes or no as part of your reading, the sun, as well as the aces, are usually read as clear yeses. The sun card can also represent a full year if you are looking for timing, and it is associated with birthdays, which are referred to in astrological circles as your solar return. So it gives you little tips about each card, and if other cards in addition to that card come up, then it means this, and this, and it's like an even more like confirmed meaning of whatever you were seeking. So it's really, I really liked that, and you get basically a full image in black and white. The Steampunk, it's a cool deck. I never super, I don't know, meshed with it. Like, it never really called to me. I was drawn to it, but I not so much to use, just to have in my collection because I really thought the art was cool. And yeah, but I will attempt at some point to kind of get into it again. It's funny, I think I ended up buying 3 copies of that because I kept trimming it and it just didn't look right. And yeah, I know how to waste my money sometimes. So yeah, some really nice art, really nice art. But getting back to the book, I mean, the writing in that. Um, reading tip, the moon is a tricky card. So much of its interpretation will depend upon the question and the surrounding cards. If the high priestess is also present, focus more on internal intuitive work or experiences. If the devil card is present, or other cards that lend an unpleasant feel to the reading, such as the Seven of Wands or perhaps the Three of Swords, turn to a more mundane approach. It is possible that someone is keeping secrets or withholding information. So it just gives you little tidbits like that, which I think is really cool when you're doing a reading. And it's great to see the association, or the relation, I should say, relationship between the various cards and how it just strengthens or weakens that particular answer. The Starchild, I can't speak. The Starchild Tarot is another one. It's a self-made deck, so an indie deck, which I'm a huge fan of. I have to shift. I love self-made decks. I'm a huge supporter. I mean, if I could afford to, I would buy all of them. And I have purchased quite a few in the last several months, certainly. This among one of them. I haven't gotten into it so much, but I do like it. Now, I'm not super into digital art. I do, however, love the color palette that she chose. I love that it's borderless. I love the size. It's a great quality product. It's very pretty presentation wise. And I so far have connected with it. I just have to take the time to work with it more. I was sort of taken away with my my Gothic, Bohemian Gothic, which I love. And so this one sort of, took a little bit of a back seat, but I certainly do like it, and I will get into that a lot more in the coming months this year. So what's great is that it does talk about the chakras. So for every card, they have the Magician, let's say, for example, the Message, additional meanings, and then reverse. Now, I don't read reversals, but it's so important to read the reversed meanings, because it's great to know every essence of a card, like every, perspective in that. And I think the more you know about each card, the more well-rounded your knowledge is in knowing about, the overall interpretation. And depending on, I don't base it on reversals. So like a card that's upside down, it's based on the surrounding cards, and you can definitely get a feel whether it's a more positive or more negative reading vibe or energy going on. So it's really important to know the reverse, or the shadow meaning, I like to call it, because then you can sort of delve in deeper, and it's not just all, oftentimes the reversed is exact opposite of what the, upright meaning is. It's just not worded as positively. But it also gives additional keys, chakras, gemstones, astrological planetary symbols, guides, like stuff that, lots of cool, interesting facts that if you're interested to go deeper, at least this kind of starts to open your eyes to that sort of thing. So it's a great little book. I love, I love the quality. I love the feel, and I love the smell. Yes, I love the smell of new books. I've only had this for a short while. I ended up getting this late last year. So maybe like a month I've had this. So the Starchild Tarot is a great one. This one here is the Enchanted Tarot, as number, what am I on here? 4, book number 4. And the Enchanted Tarot is was my first tarot deck in my late teens. And I still adore it, and I have all the versions and everything. This book is so well written by Monte Farber, and his wife Amy Zerner created the tapestries that make up each picture on each card. And his writing is poetic, it is profound, it is enchanting, it is beautiful. And I highly recommend this book. It's gorgeous. This is the 25th anniversary edition. I do, however, have the original book, the hardcover. I was able to get my hands on, as well as the soft cover, which is basically the same thing, except it's not a hardcover and it's a different picture on the cover. I believe it's the star card instead of the moon card. And here we have a tapestry that she created especially for the 25th anniversary edition. It's just a very well-produced product. And it's just a great book overall, like the binding and everything. And I love having pretty books. to add to my collection. So this one, you know, we have keywords. So the Six of Wands, victory, the dream, we have the awakening and the enchantment. So if you are familiar at all with the Amy Zerner deck from the Enchanted Tarot, the Discovery Tarot set, or the Tarot, why can I never say this when the camera's on? I don't know. And the Instant Tarot Reader. You get the Amy Zerner deck. It also came by itself, which is so expensive to find now, but that came without being part of a kit per se. And this one is, again, then there's the Enchanted Tarot, the original, but this one, as I mentioned just now, is the 25th anniversary edition. So it's just revised, and he's added a little bit in the beginning, like an introduction. But his writing is just phenomenal. I mean, it's just, yeah. And there's actually like a part here. Oh gosh, he was talking about what inspired them to do this deck, and I can't remember where I read it from. But I'll do like I did a review on the unboxing, but since I've had it for a little while, I will possibly make another video and talk a little bit about portions of the book that I just found truly beautiful and helpful and all that good stuff. And on the other page, the opposite page where the picture is, there's a quick read. So it's a quick message or outcome depending on what you're asking for. So it's a really nice little way, concise way of telling you what's going on. And then my fifth and final book is the Lumina Tarot. The Lumina Tarot is a great little book. Now, this is the second edition. I wanted to get the first edition because I noticed in the second they had some redraws, I don't know what you call it, but yeah, but it's, you know, whatever. I only found out about it a little after the fact. So, but the second edition is really cool. I am enjoying it. I love the book. For instance, you know, it'll give us the archetype, let's say in this case, the Hierophant, and then a guiding authority, which is a really nice phrase for what the Hierophant represents. And then it'll give like a bit of a blurb about, you know, if it's right side up, and then the shadow meaning. I prefer shadow to reverse. I like that. And yeah, and then the opposite page is the picture of the card in black and white. And yeah, and then at the beginning, I think, you know, like every book, it gives you a couple spreads, and it goes into a little bit of a history of tarot and the illustrator, the designer, the creator's sort of insight into their world and what, you know, inspired them, that kind of thing, to create this particular deck. And I just really, yeah, Wands, Cups, like talks about each element, the symbolic animal of each element, whether it's a fire, water, earth, or air sign, personality traits of that particular element, and those signs that fall under that element. So, you know, it's just a really great book. Like, it just takes that little white book and goes that much higher, which is awesome. So yeah, a quick little recap. A Magical Course in Tarot by Michele Morgan. Okay, first one. These are not in the same order as I just showed them, but the Enchanted Tarot, 25th Anniversary Edition. Amy Zerner, Monte Farber. Really great read. The Starchild, a Light Worker's Guide. So Danielle, Noel. Yeah, she's the creator of Starchild. Very popular modern deck that I kept seeing everywhere. And when the Borderless Akashi, I believe it's called, edition came out, I was like, sweet, I like Borderless. And then the Steampunk Tarot, which is written by Barbara Moore and illustrated by Ali Fell. So those, oh gosh, and then the fifth book, I'm all over the place, the Lumina Tarot by Inner Hue. And this is two creators, I believe. Their pictures are, oh gosh, not in the book, maybe on the, no, where did I see it? Gosh, I can't remember. Maybe on the website? Anyway, they're two creators, the artist and the, not astrologist, but anyway, I can't think of the word. Yeah, and they did such a great job. It's a cool modern deck. But yeah, I'm not going to do any reviews on any one particular deck or anything like that right now. I just wanted to share my top 5 books on tarot books that have helped me and that have opened my eyes to slightly different perspectives and things like that. Okay, so I'm rambling. It's now 20 minutes. Oh my God, how do I always manage to do this? Thank you so much for watching. This is Tamara's Tarot Oracle channel. And I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you took something away from that. And I hope to be a part of, some more videos in regards to Anthony's 31 Days of Tarot. So thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye.